Organisers say this year's sounds from Africa, Europe and North America will bring tropical, euphoric, dark and melodic sounds to the various stages around City Hall. Now, to tell us more about the 64 acts, and he's one of the 64 acts on the lineup, is 5FM DJ Kid Fonque. DJ Kid Fonque, how you doing?
Good morning, how are you?
Awesome. You know, I was talking to you before this and I'm saying that, you know, this is so interesting. I'm sure Leb and I are way too old to attend this event. But talk to me about the growth, because you host a show on 5FM. Have you seen the growth in music? Because you said your show is one of the few shows that kind of play this music.
Yeah, I mean, my show on 5FM, I've probably been on it for about 4 months now, so it's kind of in its infancy. But the Cape Town Electronic Music Festival this is their 6th year.
And you've played there 3 times before?
3 times. Well, this will be my third time. Yeah. And it's amazing to see kind of companies or businesses like this that are really interested in niche electronic music from across the world and from South Africa and put together something like this.
Just from that intro that we saw before we started the actual intro to our conversation, it looks like such a massive party, well put together, not only music, but there's just so much other stuff happening.
100%. It's curated so well. I think I've been looking at the lineup over the past week, just trying to understand how they've kind of set things up on each day. And I'm going to be playing on the Saturday, and it's kind of like a soul future electronic lineup. They've got Peanut Butter Wolf, who owns Stone's Throw Records in LA, amazing record label. Cold Cut, who own Ninja Tune in the UK. Myself, Zaki Ibrahim, Moonchild, like you said earlier. And then Sunday is Am Live, Julian Gomes, local. That's more the kind of house. But again, kind of not really mainstream, more underground. And a lot of people attend, so I'm really looking forward.
But as part of the lineup and one of the acts that people come to see, from your perspective, how have you seen this event grow since? I mean, you've been there twice. You're going for your 3rd time. How have you seen that growth?
I'm seeing a lot of people overseas taking interest. And as a person from South Africa, I used to look out at festivals like these. They've got something in Sonar, in Spain called Sonar Festival, which kind of is the same what they're doing at CTMF. And I always look at that and go, I'd love to go play there, or love to go there as a spectator and get involved. And now we have it in South Africa, and everyone's coming here from overseas to check it out. So,
But you've been, what, a DJ making music for, what, over 20 years?
20 years now, yeah. I think just over 20 years. And feeling my age.
When you look back, I mean, and I don't know when you started in this industry, what you started playing, was this always kind of what you were, or did you kind of move to the sound?
I was always really into, and it wasn't intentional, it just kind of what grabbed me. I was into independent electronic music, and some of the pioneers of the music that I was into when I was coming up are playing at the festival this year.
Wow.
I mentioned Cold Cut. They must be going on 60 now. And they're on the same evening as me, and they own a label called Ninja Tune, which got me into the music I DJ and really am interested in, like now, when I was about 17.
Wow. So it's almost come full circle for you in many ways.
100%.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There are also some other elements to it. Apart from the music, having fun, there's also workshops and training.
Sure.
And those are aimed primarily at people that are interested in the scene, or
I think
how has it been structured?
Yeah, people that are interested in the scene, producers as well. There's a lot of producers that don't know how to get their music to labels. I own a label called Stay True Sounds with Julian Gomes. We're doing a workshop next week, Thursday in Lange. And then the night before, Cold Cut are doing a workshop. They're from the UK, as I said earlier. And people come, I think they're just going to give talks on production and how things work in an independent electronic music label. So I know a lot of kids, they just don't know how the industry works. And they're going to come through and we can hopefully help.
I've always wanted to ask this question because it feels like these music festivals, especially the international ones, have not moved away, but they've incorporated the workshop aspect. It's almost like they've wanted to create a holistic approach to not just come for a couple of hours and bounce around, but to really give back in a credible kind of way.
I think that's exactly it. Festivals, especially when they're paying money for international artists to come over, it feels like that giving back is really key, because there's so many fans of this music. They love it, and they never get kind of that face time with the artist, and this gives them the opportunity to come and ask that question, like, I'm an electronic producer, I make music at home, no one really likes it in this country, I know you'll like it, how do I get it to you, what's the process? And you know, it helps.
And that's the other interesting thing I think that you've just mentioned. In terms of a growth perspective for South Africa, I'm sure the kind of guys that are coming to the workshops is how, if they don't have access to a workshop like this, do they distribute it in a country where electronic music, as you're saying, is growing, it's moving along. Those are some of the stuff that you tackle, that you look at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to sit down and have a long conversation with Julian before we do our workshop, just to try and help the kids that are making electronic music. Having the platform on 5FM's really, really helped me understand that there's a bigger community than I thought that's in South Africa. Because I have the platform now, people are hitting me up going, listen, I make music. And if you actually listen, there's some incredible producers we have at home.
And is your platform on 5FM open to getting artists that are making electronic music that wouldn't get to, as you say, the mainstream record companies?
And I think there's a lot of guys that just don't know how. And if it's good enough, I've got the ear that will be able to tell whether it can get played. And I've featured so many people on my show that in the short 4 months that I've had, that have never ever been played on mainstream radio at all. And the reception has been amazing. People don't know that this music's out there. So yeah.
And what can fans look forward to at your set?
I still haven't really figured my set out. I want to try and play a lot of local music. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the music scene, the independent local music scene in South Africa, and I want to represent that and just have fun. I'm kind of in between Moonchild and Zaki, so see what I can dish out in an hour.
Okay, he goes by the name of DJ Kid Fonque. He's got a show on 5FM. If you're into that kind of music or want to experience something new, it happens between 5 and 7 every Sunday. He'll also be at the Cape Town Electronic Music Festival, which takes place between the 7th and the 12th. There's also a 3-day program of workshops that will be happening. And you mentioned that your workshop will be happening in Langa.
Yes, on Thursday.
On Thursday. So if you're in that area, Cape Town is a beautiful place to party. So if you're in that part of the world, go and check it out. There's so much happening. We take an ad break. You don't go anywhere while Lebo and I get our funk now.